there is no attributes or methods defined inside the class. That's why I didn't get any method. If I need to manually create some instance variables on top of this class, then you can do like I can create an instance variables. Like for this instance, I'm creating two instance variables, name and company. So it will be bind to that employee class. So if I call the tab, then I can see all the attributes available for this instance. Okay, so if I call this, I mean, since this is attribute, you don't need parenthesis. When you are defining a function, that time you can use parenthesis to call that method. Okay, if I need to define a instance with employee 2, and I'm creating new instance employee 2 here, then again creating each and every attributes uh, of a class is a little bit complicated and takes much time, right? For that we have some built-in function, built-in method called init. This is the first method will be called when you are creating an instance. Okay, so this is special method, that's why it starts with underscore underscore and init underscore underscore. Every function or method inside the class should take in a self, because this when I create two instance employee 1 and employee 2, right? So this employee should know where I am storing. See, this automatically the self is replaced with employee 1, so that even though I am using same name and company for separate instance, let me name it. Okay, if I grab employee 1 dot name, okay, that I have defined. Okay, let me complete this. So this self argument is basically automatically populated with the instance you are creating. So you don't need to specifically pass that argument. When at runtime, it will automatically fill that or resolve it. Okay, for example, I'm storing first name, last name, and the pay. Okay, so I'm passing these arguments. I need to include that in instance, right? So for that, I need to store separately from the argument I received. So this can be any name. To for code readability, I'm just giving the same name. You can give like first name as well or whatever you wish. Okay, so whatever the arguments that get passed in, I'm storing in an instance, so that if I create 10 number of instance with the different name, that won't interfere with other. It will create unique memory. Okay, so that's what that self is doing. Okay, I execute this. If I need to create an instance now, I told you this init method is the one is going to execute first. If I create instance without these arguments, it's going to say this error. See, missing 3 required positional parameters, but it didn't say actually it's a 4. When at runtime, the self is replaced with this instance. That's why it didn't ask for 4 arguments. It looks for only 3 arguments. Let me pass in some arguments. Okay, I have created the instance. So if I give tab, then I can see all the attributes that are available for that instance. Okay, so if I execute this, I get the first name, last name, and the pay. Okay, with the same names, I'm creating employee2 instance, and with just name changed and salary changed. Okay. If I check employee pay, employee1 pay, and employee2 pay, even though I'm using same variable name and creating the class instance, it uniquely store that value and giving me exact value for that particular instance. That's why this self is required. It will store in different memory. If you print this instance, you can see those are stored in separate memory. I'm printing that employee instance, employee1 instance. I'm printing employee2 instance. So if you see, the memory location is different. Even though I used the same class to instantiate this instance, it stores all the variables in separate memory. Okay, so these are called instance variables that only available for this instance. If I say employee, the class name itself, if I give tab, I don't find any attributes because these are specifically for instances, not for classes. So there are different types of variables are there or attributes. So these are instance variables that will not be available for class. Okay, so if I create some method here, that also, that if it takes an argument self, that is instant method, not class method. So we'll see all the types. Let me create first the instant method. Okay, for example, I need to get full name of the employee. I'm just giving the function name. The only difference between method and function, this will take the self argument. Okay, so to get first name and last name, the instance variables are available, so I don't need to pass in any arguments. I can use this instance variable itself. Okay, so let me return